Bear with me 1 second, and we'll get ready. Oh, I'm setting it on the camera. We just assume we are. I will tweet. Let me just get a tweet out, and then we'll start. Let's press that. Hi. Hello. How's everyone doing? I hope you're doing well. It is Saturday. I don't normally stream on Saturdays. I do sometimes. Didn't stream on Friday last week, so I didn't stream yesterday, so I went probably better stream today. I'm away next week. Jen and I and a load of our friends are going to basically on holiday, our version of a holiday, which is we go up to an Airbnb near Leeds, between Leeds and Manchester, and we eat, drink, and play board games and console games. It's quite cool. It's pretty chill. I will be taking my laptop and microphone, so I will be able to record some Star Citizen News one there. We've got some a couple of videos pre-recorded as well. I've since done a couple of lore videos. I've done a couple of general Star Citizen videos as well. If anyone would like to ask a question in brackets. Obviously, hot topics are going to be 3.18, problems 3.18, 3.19, Fleet Week, that sort of jazz. So let's start, because I suspect I'll do this again at some point during the live stream. But let's go have a look at this. This sneak peek. This little sneak peek here, yeah, and it's of a little map for Area 18. Go, oh, that's cool. Nice little map of Area 18. So this is in 3.19, we're supposed to have some additional new player experience stuff, which is largely taking place at Area 18. So awesome. I have just seen the expo is definitely at Horizon. Okay, so we've got Invictus Launch Week, and its dates here. It's assumed dates. Obviously, this could change from the 20th of May to the 31st of May. So we know that 3.19 is supposed to come before or with Invictus Launch Week. And we've got here, according to this, it's going to be at the Vision Center on Horizon, Crusader. That actually makes more sense. I proposed that maybe it was going to be at Area 18 just because the new player experience was there, and obviously the Bivak Convention Center's there. Maybe they had sort of updated that, and they would have the Fleet Week main expo there. But it looks like it's at the Vision Center Crusader again, and yeah, Invictus Fleet Week, Invictus Launch Week, Fleet Week, 20th of May to the 31st. That's what it looks like. And it looks like we've got the good old Javelin Tour, and probably just the Bengal and UE fleet flying around again, which is awesome. Might be some other stuff as well, so sort of bear that in mind. We don't 100% know for sure. But yes, new player experience 3.19 should be good. Should give players a little bit of hand holding for the first few. Supposed to be first half an hour, but I suspect potentially a little bit longer than that. It basically will give you the ability to play Star Citizen without the form of any external tutorial. Is the idea there? That's pretty cool. I think that's very useful. Now, I'm going to be streaming a little bit today, but we'll answer some questions. We'll have a bit of a chat. Go over some of the stuff. Obviously, there's been a load of problems with 3.18. It is significantly better than it was last weekend. And Cloud Imperium are continuing to work on a 3.18.1 patch and fix a load of the server problems that they're encountering, and general patch problems and back-end service problems. So hopefully they'll be able to get a load of those solved, and we'll be in a much better state next week. So it's getting better and better. It was a bit of a disaster, everything just exploding and not being able to log on to play even. And when you did log into play, all the backend services and sort of database stuff was broken. So you couldn't like open your inventory or spawn ships. Not great. But as I said, a lot better now. With the servers still having big issues, e.g. terminals not working correctly, elevators not working correctly, trams not working correctly, do you think it's a good idea to be running a paint and ship sell with Fortuna and a rumour of a free fly incoming? So the idea with the free fly is that it's supposed to be when 3.19 is in a better state. So hopefully by the end of March, 3.18 or 3.18.1, as it will almost certainly be by then, will be in a significantly better state. It's not going to be as good as and stable as 3.17.5, just because that patch was super refined over not branching out for so long, and then obviously persistent entity streaming and that sort of stuff has gone on. But it needs to be in a good state for a free fly, right? If it's not in a great state for a free fly, then all you're doing is damaging. You're showing that Star Citizen's gone back, not forward. The Stellar Fortuna sale, I think that's fine. Like, they have Stellar Fortuna every year. They delayed it a little bit so to wait until 3.18 was a little bit better. Well, actually, a lot better. Because let's face it, it's hugely better than it was last weekend. People can log in. There may be bugs, but they are not super common every single time you play. They're still not as good as it's not as good as 3.17.5 was, as I said, but it would be best to sort the issue out first. But also, there's a mixture of time constraints and wanting to promote and market the game. So it's always better if it was working better, but they can't always have it working exactly how they want. So hopefully they'll be in a very good state before it goes to a free fly. With ship tracked beams on the roadmap, when do you think we'll see the SRV in game? At some point during the 3.19 branch. That is when I think. I've got a video coming out next week that will go over some of that, which will be much needed ship for current ship persistence and pyro. So the SRV is going to be super. It's going to be absolutely fantastic for its own gameplay of towing ships, but also general utility gameplay, helping out miners, helping out salvagers, helping out repair ships, a load of stuff like that, helping out with cargo. Stellar Fortuna, why is the Phoenix only available as a pack? Phoenix was available separately, wasn't it? Is it only available as a pack? Let me just log into my. It might only be available concierge. So, it was definite. It was sold in waves. The A90 Jump and the Phoenix were sold in wave. Sorry, I'm just logging into my. Gotta put the codes in. Ugh. I'm gonna go to Stellar Fortuna page. Bring this up here for you. Unzoom it. So it was definitely part of the waves, the Constellation Phoenix Emerald, and the 890 Jump. Was it not shown down here? Is that what you're saying? The NI jump's obviously shown down here. I didn't realise the emerald wasn't shown down there. Obviously, got the very expensive Fortuna packs. So obviously you can buy Fortuna pack, which is the Constellation, Phoenix Emerald, the Ezra Rover, the P72, which is supposed to sort of come with it, and a Cyclone MT with it as well. I didn't realise it wasn't being sold separately. Maybe it's sold separately via the Pledge store? Hello, chips. Huh. I don't know. I thought it was being sold. Thought it was being sold individually. And according to that sales page at the front, should have been as well, right? It says, of the new rare and refined, look no further for premiering paint schemes, the return of some stock limited Fortuna ship packs. Oh no, it's ship packs. Okay. Yeah, so it's only available in the ship packs. If I was able to read, I'd know that. But yeah, weird. I didn't realise that was the case. It's basically because it's an older Fortuna ship, and they basically what they want to do is sell just the new Fortuna ships every year, as far as I was aware. But obviously they've been selling the sort of all of the Fortuna ships and vehicles this time. Don't expect them to do that every time. And yeah, I was expecting it to be sold separately, but obviously that's not the case. I misunderstood as well. Yeah, so that's a weird bug, isn't it? So if you've got loads of ships, and ships with, I think, with names and things like that, it's more likely that you will have problems with the login servers. They find it harder to attribute you a login authentication ticket, whatever, if you've basically got loads of stuff in the database. So if you're a whale, you're less likely to have a good time in Star Citizen at the moment. They also mentioned changing the claim system at some point. They didn't. When they either said towing comes in or towing and repair. So in the future, there is going to be big changes to the insurance system, but we don't know when that is. Yeah, towing and repair would make sense for them to start talking about insurance a lot more and encouraging players to repair and sort of tow their ships. Yeah. Notice the pirate caterpillar in your list for sale. Is that a subscriber only item? So you have to have completed Pirate Swarm. To completed Pirate Swarm, and then you get access to it, I believe. Then you can purchase it. You've got 3 ships, so you're a guppy. Ah, 3 ships is still a lot of ships. You only need 1. You need 1 starter pack and 1 ship, right? Anything more than that is just greedy. What else have we got here? I'm extremely tired. Oh my god. I'm less tired now that Plastic Death sent me a load of money. Bored, my boy. I still can't log in at all. Keep getting stopped at the entitlement verification stage. Any tips? I consider myself very entitled, usually. Is it because I have a lot of ships? So having a lot of ships does not help, unfortunately, Plastic Death. It is a major problem. So, entirely logging out on the website, yeah, can potentially help. Logging in and out of the launcher can potentially help. What else did I hear anecdotally was working? You've got a second account you can log into, that helps a load as well. I can go on with both my main account and my secondary account. I don't have a huge amount of ships though. I mean, my main account does have quite a few, but I'm not a whale. It's mostly big ships as well that are yet to exist in game. But Plastic Death, that's a bit of a ball ache. You still can't get in. However, expect next week 3.18.1 and a load of improvements. But yeah, sorry, man. Maybe logging in and out of the website and logging in and out of the launcher will help you. I would say do a character reset, but I think that's currently down. Why does cheese taste better when melted? It's because it gives it more surface area on your tongue. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So it gets all into the thing that you want to eat, and it gets more surface area in your tongue. That's literally why. Also, cheese is great. You want to avoid a hangover, so have the cheese before you have the alcohol. And that sort of coats your stomach, and it helps process the alcohol and get it through you without sort of being as absorbed. Magic. Makes you fat as well. I'm a bit tubby at the moment. I'm also very tired and sort of a bit ill. I've got sort of quite a puffy neck. So the turtleneck probably doesn't help. Gives me all. It's like a it's like a neck girdle. The turtleneck makes me look a little bit less fat than I actually am. Need to sort out my diet again soon. I sort of had about 3 weeks off. I've just been not exercising much and eating loads. I'm trying to get some bulk up though. I'm gonna have some like big old guns. Oh. I'm gonna try and get to the Manchester Bar Citizen on the 8th. I'm gonna try. Super busy, so literally got a load of work to do tomorrow. Just trying to get ready for going away for a week, and then obviously got a week, and then when I get back, I'll be super busy. Sort of catching up. Right, talking about 3.19 while 3.18 has been off for a week. Sure. I mean, there's loads of 3.19 information, and we've got Fleet Week and stuff like that coming up. And this is a Star Citizen sort of news and information channel. I'll talk about a mixture of everything. 3.19 is something interesting to talk about as well. So like a lot of the, I mean, I talk about 3.18 loads, obviously, but we sort of rehashed and gone through a lot of that stuff multiple times already. But by that logic, I'd go, well, we can't. 3.8 is broken. See you later, bye. The 3.5 event could be coming when the servers are working better and more stable. That is the plan. They shouldn't run a 3.5 event until then. Ugh. Yes. Oh my god. Yeah, I wonder if all the things I've had to make 3.18 work, or which of them are bullshittery, and which are actually genuinely useful. But hopefully, Plastic Death, you'll better get in. I'll give Chris a call. Chris, got him out yet? What would you think about Cloud Imperium taking a year and fixing all the bugs and not working on new content? That would be super detrimental to the game, because you're going to get bugs every time they release new features. So the thing is how do you feel about them just working on development of the game and not releasing any new patches for a year? Yeah? Because then they could get a lot more work done without running a live product. But their funding would be adversely affected. So what they're doing is they're going, right, we're running a live product. We're going to expand the studios massively, get a load more devs, and we're going to continue to market and develop the game and run a live service, and expand all at the same time. But when they're looking at polishing the game for its 1.0 release, for its live 1.0 out of alpha, out of beta release, yeah, yeah, they want to have all the bugs solved then. But until then, because of the sort of how substantive and major updates are, there's going to be bugs that turn up those. So even if they polished everything, got it really well, looking really well. But actually, tell you what, it's not a bad idea for them to get a really stable branch. Maybe not a year, but a really stable branch once they've got all the core tech in. So once they've got like server meshing in, I mean, maybe dynamic server meshing, once they've got the core of the sort of flight model and all the master mode stuff in, then go in, yeah, let's actually get a really stable base and then add everything on top of that sort of more modularly. I think that's not an awful idea. Is there an update coming to fix loot boxes not opening and the word loot is in red? So, loot boxes not opening properly and stuff like that. It's still database issues that Chrome starters are still having problems with, especially at peak times. It's just, unfortunately, one of the many problems in the PT, in the persistent universe at the moment, in 3.18, seems to be a lot more aggressive during peak hours. How long do abandoned ships and wrecks remain in the world? They stay there forever until a saturation of them in an area is hit, and then the older ones get despawned. Unless there's some other underlying logic there going on, that's typically what should happen. Is it true you can have as many ships of your fleet spawned at the same time? So it used to be 3. I have not tested it in 3.18 with Pez, which is something I really should have, max capacity. So theoretically, you could be able to spawn all your ships, yes. Because of Pez. But, yeah, theoretically, you should be able to spawn them all. Yeah, them locking character resets not helped with the problem, because I think character resets might, although I suppose that would cause a knock-on effects, because then a lot of the services get even slower. How long do you think until ships stop going into default state, losing all upgrades? Again, database. So 3.18 and the problems it's having are categorized by backend service, server, and database issues. And hopefully next week, the databases will be in a significantly better state. Merchantman ETA thoughts. It's possible, if they're still working on it and they've got a team of 13 plus people working on it, that we could see it in a very near to release state by the end of the year. Should I buy a Microstar Runner or Scorpius? Well, remember you can get both of them in game. So, or at least you will be able to. I love the Microstar Runner. It is my bae. I think you can do a lot more with the Microstar Runner as well. When is the next free fly? It will be coming as soon as 3.18 is in a much more stable, in a more stable state, and stable enough to have a free fly. So potentially by the end of March, and potentially with a 3.18.1 update. No new news on the Apollo. No. Can't promote and market a broken game if it's not fixed for free fly. That needs to be part. Yeah. So it needs to be playable enough for the free fly. Yes, 100%. What ships do you recommend as a starter ship in 3.18? So, whatever's to your taste. So, a lot of people are going to be starting in the Drake Cutter now, because I think it's genuinely a great ship. But, if you've got a little bit of money extra beyond a starter package to put in the game, an Avenger Titan, superb ship. Absolutely. That would be my recommended starter. If you want to go a bit cheaper, and go for the sort of base entry, then it's whatever flavor you want. And the Mustang and the Aurora, I prefer the Mustang Alpha. A lot of people don't. I don't know. Can we convince CIG to add a new concierge for $19,004 spent? Is that how much you've spent exactly? Is it? It should be concierge level power. 1k spent on monstrous. There's a lot of people that spent a lot of money in the game, eh? There's a huge benefit to that Phoenix pack, and it's basically the same as the old Phoenix, but Fortuna plus Thumbrel. But every item is CCUable. What else do we have? Yeah, it might take a couple of days. So after you complete Pirate Swarm, it might take a couple of days before the Pirate Gladius and Caterpillar appear in your purchasable ships. What tier of pledge are you a narwhal? So narwhals exist. A lot of people think that narwhals are like unicorns. Narwhals are real. So I'd say a whale. I still say a whale is more majestic than a narwhal. In my fish tier list. Yes, you're able to spawn ships in game, but there are problems, and sometimes you're not. Yeah, so they wanted to try and get 3.18 done by this week, but obviously they were working on database stuff. Expect 3.18.1 next week. That's what it looks like. Yeah, so I want to look like a sort of evil tech entrepreneur. That's why I wear the turtlenecks now. If it sits, it fits. If it barely fits, can we be allowed to tie our ramp shut with bungee straps? Well, I love the idea of ships poking out of the back of ships and doors not being able to close properly. Oh. Those little love hearts appearing at the bottom of my... That's really weird. I don't understand what's going on with some of the my overlay. What is Fleet Week? When is it? And are there discounts and what bonds? So, Fleet Week looks like it's starting on the 20th of May and running to the 31st of May. It is a big Star Citizen event, a big old ship sale focusing on combat ships. So combat ships from all the manufacturers, and then at the end of the sort of Fleet Week, there's then Drake Defense Con, which then does focus on Drake stuff. And there's typically some new, entirely new flyball ships and vehicles, and potentially a new concept. They have some cool stuff you can get involved with. So there's an expo. Looks like the expo is going to be at Crusader Horizon Vision Center again this year. So this is all information from this sneak peek from today's newsletter or yesterday's newsletter, basically saying Victor's Launch Week is at the Expo, May 20th to the 31st at Vision Center, Horizon Crusader. And this is an Area 18 new player experience map. So Expo Hall, so you can rent a load of ships, different ships each day in the Expo Hall. That you can go and see and rent. There's also typically, and it looks like it's the same again this year, the UE fleet flying around. So there's UE military ships, there's the Bengal, there's Javelins, there's Idris, all flying around the major space stations around the game. And they just sort of appear and fly around in fireworks, and they just look cool, and you can fly around and see them, get really close to them and go, ooh, and then do silly stuff with that. There's also normally a Javelin tour, so the Javelin docks with those stations and stays there for like an hour or so, and you can board it, and there's a load of voice actors that will sort of talk you around the Javelin, and there might be some new stuff as well. But yeah, expect a free fly at the same time. But in lore, it's to sort of celebrate the UE recruitment drive. But yeah, combat and logistics focused ships on sale during that period. It's one of the biggest sort of sales events for Star Citizen each year. Hope that I've explained what Fleet Week is. Also, we do know that with Fleet Week this year, 3.19 is coming with it or before it. And we go, what? They haven't properly released 3.18 yet. It's out, but it's broken. But yeah, so a couple of months' time, you're going to see 3.19. That's the plan. But I just want to say again, Plastic Death, you're a beautiful boy. Thank you so much. Anything else there? Weren't the Titan suits supposed to be Squadron 42 exclusive? No, that's incorrect, J-Bird. So, they might have said that originally. I don't have that in my notes. They said that the Titan suits would appear in the Persistent Universe. They started building them for potentially going into theaters of war. They were testing them really early on, sort of just really white boxing them, running around with 2 size 1 ship weapons on their arms, going, "This is too weird." And those size 1 weapons are too big for their arms. So they're working on Titan suits again, doing the rigging for them at the moment, I believe. Are Evocati ever given free ships for their participation? I mean, hangar editions, not temporary use. So, Crown Imperium, often, or the last couple of patches, have gone sort of heroes of the ETU and test group, and they award some top players ships that were super good at reporting particular bugs or getting involved or were on the most hours on the PTU, things like that. So they do things like that. I've not beyond that, and that's typically there might be an Evocati category in there. Whatever, but I haven't heard of specifically Evocati getting freebies permanently. Evocati is a chore more than a privilege or anything. Like those are voluntary QA. Most Evocati, most, not all. I'm an Evocati. I don't do a huge amount of Evocati testing and help. The builds are too sort of broken for me to. I'm not allowed to get footage on them anyway. I'm in ND8. I sort of can plan out videos a bit. I can play Star Citizen a bit, understand what's going on with it. I do a little bit of Evocati testing and bug reporting, but not nearly as much as my Evo brothers and sisters. There's no solid date for 3.18.1. Some time in March, most likely, probably next week. Any way of making even final adjustments to the speed limiter? Expect that in the future. Obviously, mouse wheel. It's not as granular as it used to be. I expect them to make it more finer in the future, for sure. They're obviously working on the master modes and flight control and stuff like that at the moment. No, board. I've not spent that much. Because there's a 19K and 4 error. That's why you wanted a 19K and $4 concierge pack. That makes sense. Weren't the Titan suits? We talked about that. On a different topic, have you used FOIP? Yes. Have you used it with Toby? Yes. Did it work? Yes. Can you do a video on it? Yes. Does it work with other players? Probably not at the moment. It certainly works locally. So you can do stuff with it and have it. Oh, does it? I'm not sure if I've used my Toby eye tracker for FOIP. Does it tracks your head? Tracks your eyes. I've not used FOIP with it. If I did use FOIP with it, I would have also had my webcam there. I will check out and I'll fiddle and see. FOIP typically works locally. I will get back to you. I'll get back to you on that. Don't want to misrepresent it. Is the current Mercury Star runner a good sale price, a good sale offer, or is it basically the regular price? It's regular price. Are either card ever given free ships participation? Talked about that. 3.18.1 potentially next week. I expect it in March, but Cloud Imperium are desperately trying to get out a little mini patch for a fix. What are your thoughts on 3.18 currently? Frustrated or optimistic? I'm not having much problem with 3.18, so I'm frustrated for other people because I want to be able to play Star Citizen and everyone else to be able to enjoy it at the same time, and that obviously increases the views I have on my channel as well. As people are enjoying Star Citizen more, they're watching more videos on it typically. I'm always optimistic on Star Citizen. Just sort of person I am. I'm sort of relatively trusting of CIG, and I'm always looking forward to the future, and the future does promise better. So. Do you think players should be given more incentive to alpha test this game? Perhaps some form of progression? Yeah, that'd be great. More progression, more incentives to test, more incentives for people to test on the PTU as well. Some better development stuff at a glance. So, well, actually, let me explain what I mean by that. So, not development stuff, better understanding of what's going on at a glance. So, in the launcher and maybe even in the menu screen for Star Citizen before you sort of launch up, just some. This is what we're testing at the moment. This is broken. This is a known issue. This is a major issue. This is the status of the servers. They're broken. Just telling people that at a glance when they're sort of getting into the game. We need help testing this. There's a checklist here, integrating the issue council in Star Citizen. Things like that would genuinely really help. Giving people little incentives and bonuses for testing, for like completing a list of things. So, reporting a bug and adding it appropriately to the issue council. It's like a checklist, playing for an hour, playing for 5 hours. Little things, giving little incentives, unlocking stuff, giving you some like flair or some potentially higher sort of tiers ships and stuff. Great. Give me some citizen points. I really like that idea. I think that would get people more involved. Because that's effectively progression as well, right? But it's alpha testing progression. It's still progression in something, and you get rewards. That'd be cool. Have you ever thought about taking a break from Star Citizen News? I mean, think about it. Go like this. I'll be stupid. Make a lot of money from my YouTube videos. I love the game and love following it, but even gets too much for me for a while. I mean, I'm going to be covering the news. Whatever. If I just suddenly stopped covering the news, where would people go to watch the news? One of the other content creators. I don't want that. I want them to watch me. Yes, we need a bobblehead holding a 3.18 flag. Yeah, there were certainly some big deals on ships previously. So like things like the Banning Merchantman and like Carrack and stuff. Like Banning Merchantman was like what, $250. Carrack was like $350, and like going up and up and up in price massively. So. Referral program for bug reporting, yeah, and for to playing Star Citizen and getting involved in issue council and helping out stress test at particular times and things. Like, yeah, helping with stress. There's a load of stuff they could put in. People get really involved in testing on particular weekends and that sort of stuff as well. That said, they do then have to have devs that are building stuff for that system specifically. I appreciate all the kind words. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's super lame that so many people have been affected by 3.18's poor live release. Cloud Imperium did not think it was going to be that rocky. They warned us. They went, it's going to be a bit of a rocky release. we're going to get a patch ASAP in to fix a load of stuff. But they did not think all the login servers were going to explode and break. They did not think the databases were going to effectively detach from the game and require a load of work to get sort of back in and working. It is absolutely awful. It's a bit of a disaster. But fortunately, it's during the alpha phase of the game, and they will be able to get it into a better state. It's already in a significantly better state than it was, but they'll be able to get it in a much better state over the next couple of weeks, sort of thing. So hopefully next week, it's very playable rather than just mostly playable. Yeah, that's my hope. That's my thoughts as well. Like it's not as bad as it could have been. Like if they were running a free fly as well at a major time. Oof, still a bit of an oof for sure, and very disappointing. I wanted 3.18 to be an absolutely fantastic release and people to be really enjoying it. It was great on the PTU. Like, I was really enjoying 3.18 on the PTU. As soon as it went live, everything broke. So yeah, Bored, could you talk CIG into adding 1 SCU and 2 SCU empty crates into the game? Expect those to be in game at some point, and also 32 SCU crates that you can sort of probably empty, that you can move around with the SRV and other tractor beams, ship tractor beams, and smaller crates as well. Sort of empty and fillable with your own stuff. Yeah, it's weird that you have to go and ask about Face way of getting those crates, right? And you can get them, and they're super useful. But will we see physical damage on the interior of the ship? Yes, eventually you should. There's someone at the door. I'll be. Right. It's a little package for me because I'm going away next week. Sort of buy a load of like anti-flu and anti-diarrhea and stuff, medication like that, just in case. And then my cat she looked a bit panicked. She required some cuddles. My cat's pretty old now. She's like pushing on 17. And she likes to. I didn't used to let her in my room. Didn't let her used to in this room, but now she's got a heated blanket sort of wrapped around her. She sort of stays here most days, most nights, and most of the time. And her food's just outside my room now. Is there, eats and then comes back in. How am I doing today? I'm alright. I'm a bit tired. I'm not going to be streaming for too much longer. So what was I talking about? Yeah, so interior damage to ships. So yeah, so part of the sort of engineering and the resource management systems and stuff, Cloud Imperium are going to have very active damage to the internals of your ships, so individual components and sort of the way malfunctions work, and fires out, like breaking out, relays getting damaged and destroyed, and you'll see some other visual things from the lights and sort of things sparking, and sort of you will probably see bulkheads and stuff like that showing damage. Obviously, we know that there's going to be the ability to remove hulls with salvage. I expect to actually see more readily holes and damage from weaponry and stuff that really shows damage in the ship as well. That'll be my expectation, and more sort of part of the physicalized components and all that sort of stuff and physical damage system that they're coming up with. That's my expectation anyway. Do you know if they will eventually be removing the internal storage for ships as a whole and replacing it with modular storage crates of their own inventory? So I believe that there are going to be modular storage crates that have their own inventory. They basically have to have empty crates and put whatever you want in them. But they're going to have a cargo grid system as well. Everything's going to be a lot more physicalized, obviously, with the cargo factor and going forward now. We get in-game t-shirts that say I survived 3.18. That's a great t-shirt idea, Samiyeti. Thank you. I may make something like that. Star Citizen doesn't own the rights to 3.18. Right. Ugh, pineapple pizza. Look, you do you. I hate cucumber. I don't like pineapple on pizza. What else don't I like? I'm not a massive fan of peach. Although I will drink peach in cocktails. There's some foods I don't like. There's some foods I don't agree with. I just won't eat them myself. Look, J Bird, I haven't changed the emotes. I'm lazy and I forget. Both those things. Been trying to get in for 5 days now. Been getting stuck at the 2030 20391 entities every time with over 100 tries. Only fix I know was the character repair, which has been removed. That is a ball ache. Sorry, man. What's your best guesstimation of when 600 Eyes update will come out? End of the year. Though I'm unsure about how many people are going to be working on it and when. So you can soft off a player, steal their cargo, and strip their hull. Yes. They can obviously call in backup and everything. They're still alive on their ship. So they might be defending or running away or whatever. Or they might try and steal your ship. Right. Has there been any mention of buying items in packs? Like buying a 12-pack of beer, lunchbox with a drink and snack inside, a military MRE? So that's a really interesting question, actually, weirdly. No. So items at the moment are not obviously individualized into you can buy an item and it's actually multiple items. The game has the ability to do that, as far as I'm aware. In fact, it does have the ability to do that, sort of the way item ports work. But we haven't seen anything like that. Like, you can't buy a toolkit or a medical pack which has multiple things in it. But I really like the idea, and obviously you could, because that's the way backpack works, right? Oh yeah, I really like that idea. I hate cucumbers. I'm okay with some pickles. Okay, that's because you get the more just the pickly taste, right? I don't get the taste of cucumber. Cucumbers is the devil's vegetable. It is like if it's been cut and it's in the room near me, I can smell it for quite a distance. It repels me like it repels cats. Okay, I think it's some sort of snake. I will retreat. When I visited Mike and Hurston, I saw too many rock formations. Will there be planetary tech pass on? Yes, expect planetary tech pass on that stuff. Stuff will look better and it will be dialed in so it's an appropriate amount. No, cucumber and sushi is wrong. I understand that it's a part of sushi and people want cucumber and sushi. I do not. I avoid cucumber and sushi. I'm effectively allergic to it. Okay. It smells and tastes like death. I'm got a very strong sense of cucumber. Put sugar on cucumber and it tastes like watermelon. That sounds like I don't like watermelon as well now. You've ruined watermelon for me. I hate cucumber. The smell of cucumber makes me almost sick. The taste of cucumber makes me actually sick. Angering me with this cucumber conversation. People telling me that it doesn't smell or taste of anything. I promise you, it does. It doesn't still smell of anything to you because you're a nosmic. Okay. No, I like cooked onions. That's good. Cucumber chips, that just sounds wrong. Are you talking about cucumber crisps? That's also wrong. But look, each their own. You can enjoy that. I like mayonnaise. Yeah, not on everything, just on certain things. Like I would have mayonnaise with chips, fat, fat fries. I don't know what do Americans call normal British chips. Obviously, chips are crisps in America, but not French fries because these are big. These are big bits of potato. No. French fries are thin. They're thin. Yeah, steak cut chips. Steak cut fries. Steak fries. Perfect. I'd have mayonnaise for them. And, so I love salmon or salmon and rice with sort of like Japanese mayonnaise, so like wasabi mayonnaise. Oh. More question. Habitats. A shop at Area 18 in the sneak peek. That's promising. Somewhere to buy top quality soft furnishings. Lol. Oh yeah, I haven't actually looked deeper into this picture. So yeah, what shops do we actually have? We've got Astra Armada, Dumpers Depot, and Food Retail. Habitats. Private and looks like private. Clothes shop. Food Blast Weapons Shop. What that word says. Admin office, hospital, EDD, hangers, food. Interesting. So you think, isn't that just the habitats are there? Isn't that just that's where your spawn location is, rather than it's a habitat shop? Maybe it's in the retail plaza. I do want eventually the ability to buy stuff for my hab and for my hangout, for sure. Okay. I'll be better with the carbs. I'm normally pretty good. I was on keto just recently. I've been a bit of a monster. Right. I mean, I think sea cucumbers are a very silly sea creature. Private quarters. Private quarters makes more sense. Yeah, it's not a shop for your habs. It's literally just the habs where you spawn. Western fries. Shame the UK doesn't have supermarket potato wedges and chicken tenders regularly. Yeah, it does. Yeah, you can get chicken tendies. You can get potato wedges. When we might be see Titan suits in game. They're working on the rigging for them at the moment. I have no idea when I'm going to see them in game. I thought we were going to see them in 2017. And I have it every year since. Apologies, this has probably been asked, but do you have a feel of when we'll be able to get into 3.18 without issue? without issue. So expect next week to be significantly better. I'm expecting 3.18.1 next week, and the servers to be significantly better next week. Expect the free fly by the end of March, and 3.18 to be in a goodish state. I don't know how they actually make chicken tendies. It's probably not something I'd eat anymore. I'm not. I don't eat much processed food. I'm gonna give Paul a pack of cucumber melon scented thing. No, I mean it'll be put in the bin pretty quick. Not even my bin, the neighbour's bin. I've not had much okra, to be honest. I mean, I can't confirm the state that 3.18 will be in. I can only give you my gut feel and anecdotal evidence for what I think. And I'll always give vague language, especially like it's going to be in a good state, but it's not going to have all the bugs fixed, but by any means. What do I consider purely American food? There's not much that's purely American that I can think of. Philly cheesesteak, things like that. Clam chowder. That's very American in my sort of head. That Americans have the style. They have very similar food to the UK. They just style it differently. So there's a lot more sugar in stuff, and there's Americans' cuisine is slightly different. American cheese is great in a burger. We call it cheese singles here. Do we call it American cheese here? Have you ever had American Southern pulled pork? That sounds great. Anything pulled pork or barbecue always sounds awesome. Do you think we'll ever get different styles of underpants to start season? Yep, I think we will have different underwear and underclothes sort of customization. How do you experience Vulkan 3.18 with GPU and what? So Vulkan not integrated in 3.18. Gen 12 renderer and the sort of ability to now have Vulkan potentially in 3.19. Yeah, so Vulkan in 3.19 potentially will give us a load more client-side performance if it is indeed in 3.19. If it's not in the initial release, I would expect it to be as part of the cycle at some point for 3.19. You could potentially have some modern graphics options, significantly higher frame rates, some better looking graphics as well. It should be quite noticeable and quite big. Not exactly a question, but someone found that if you're having a 19K error, you can sometimes get into the game by turning off the firewall and Windows Defender, re-enabling it after you're on. Really? Okay. An extra thing that it doesn't have to jump through. Do you think we're ever getting different styles of underpants? We talked about that. Potato, I can play for hours on my Potato PC, but my 9K dev PC lags and glitches constantly. That is the problem with Star Citizen not being polished at all and being an alpha, is that it had weird problems like that. It's not refined by any means. There's no graphics drivers built for it specifically. It does sound like you might be able to get some better sort of performance if you tweak around with some control panel settings for NVIDIA and your PC, but I suspect you've already tried that. Right. I'm going to dash off because I am going to have a nap. I'm going to have a nap, then I'm going to wake up and eat half a chicken. That is my plan. I'm a single, pushing on 38-year-old man. And that's what I'm going to do with my weekend. Nap and eat a chicken. Okay? That's what I'm going to do. Don't you shame me. I'm not going to have any cucumber because it's the devil's vegetable. And I hope that 3.18 will be in a much better state next week. Although it is significantly better than it was last week already. Do you think we'll get interior salvage using the multi-tool, being able to scrape the interior? So, no. You'll be able to salvage items and steal stuff from ships, so take components and stuff, and cut things away. Hull stripping is very much the outer hull. right? If they add another type of salvage that you can do internally, I mean, potentially you'd be able to help separate the hull, use salvage charges, maybe use a use the cutting tool to cut through the hull, so you can have sections of it, maybe. But yeah, I am going to find someone else that's streaming and then pass you over to them. Who is actually online? Yeah, I'm only gonna have like a mini nap. Who's this? Who's that? Send you over to Burks because he's a beautiful boy. At Raid Burks. Yeah. Does that not work? Flash raid. There we go. Perfect. That's the correct command. Thank you very much for watching today. Very much appreciated. I'm going to send you over to Captain Burks. He's a good old chap. He's an entertainer. He's fun. He loves you. And he'll look after you well. I will be releasing a load of videos next week, talking about 3.19, 3.18. I'm going over the Star Citizen news. I'm away next week, but I will be taking my microphone with me, and I've got some stuff pre-recorded. And Zin's got a couple of Lord videos done as well. But thank you so much for joining me today. Genuinely appreciated. Hope you have a great weekend. And I hope that you enjoy being old Captain Burks. Here is his channel. Oop.